the other day, I went out to my car just to move it. And when I turned it on, guess the song that was playing.
I'll Be Home for Christmas.
It was a Christmas song, wasn't it?
It was a Christmas song.
This is great news.
And it was terrible. It was
There's not terrible
the
Christmas
Wham
songs.
one.
That is a terrible Christmas song. I'm happy to go on record saying
What is
that.
it? What is it called?
Last Christmas.
That one.
So you
And
just
it's
get in your
too
car and the
early.
radio was going? Like you
Well-
had the station on that has Christmas music on?
Well, not intentionally.
That
I
sounds
bet
intentional.
there
No, but
was
I
a
think-
CD in the player.
No.
And it was,
Oopsies.
wow, this is Christmas 1984.
No,
I can't believe I did it
everyone
again.
experiences this with their car where like you turn it on before you are connected or whatever. It plays the radio, whatever station is there, and it was playing.
Well, hold on. Last time, though, you did mention that you don't like the radio. You like
don't.
to have a curated Spotify playlist. Mm-hmm. Oh, but you weren't connected yet. Your phone
No,
wasn't.
no. Like this was, I turned the key, car just came on, not able to connect yet, and it was playing Wham, and it made me angry.
Well, that sounds like a Christmas miracle because you were
No.
probably the first one out of all of us to listen to Christmas music.
Wow, a miracle.
Well, I will say I don't love Wham! Last Christmas. And I may be
Really?
in the minority, and I love Christmas songs, but for some reason, George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley just doesn't do it for me in this song.
Well, the lyrics are spectacular. I'm looking at them now. So
What do you mean spectacular?
they're horrible.
Oh,
Won't take us through it.
that's actually kind of surprising that you don't like it because the 80s were, the time of your youth.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So
I'm cutting
that is
that part out.
surprising.
Yeah, got it. A crowded room, friends with tired eyes. I'm hiding from you and your soul of ice. My God. I thought you were someone to rely on. Me? I guess was a shoulder to cry on. A face on lover with a fire in his heart. A man undercover, but you tore me apart. Ooh, ooh. Now I found a real love. You'll never fool me again. Merry Christmas, everybody. I mean, come on.
The way you read it sounds like a serial killer wrote
This
it.
is not how normal people read things? I don't understand.
Well, I've got to admit, you changed my mind. It's back on my top 10 Christmas songs.
Golly.
Well, the meaning of it, I guess it's just heartbreak and betrayal. So he's still pining for an ex-lover who left him the day after Christmas last year.
Day. Yeah.
And I would say to any of you who were dumped the day after Christmas, you've had a year, get over it, move on, pick a different song.
Or write a letter and just turn it into a song and,
And
watch
then
your life unfold.
You find someone special, like the song says.
Special.
That's it.
I did the echo.
Wow. Well, we jumped into possibly one of my least favorite Christmas songs to start out. I would like to talk about better Christmas songs. But before we did that, Tatum, we kind of talked to you last time. There was a certain movie and Christmas song that you hadn't seen or really listened to. Do you remember what that was?
Oh, it was Gremlins, right? Just
No,
kidding.
it's not.
It's not
White
Gremlins.
Christmas.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to watch it?
How many times did you watch
That's the better question.
For all intents and purposes, I technically did watch it, but I feel as though it's important to give the disclaimer that it was a very abbreviated version of
Did you
it.
just watch the trailer?
I played the beginning and then skipped to the end. Just kidding. No, it was, it was an expedited version for sure. And so after enduring it, I will say I liked it less than I thought that I would.
You liked it less
Wow.
than you thought you would?
So you had some
I
sort of
went
expectation
in-
and
I
came
went-
in lower.
Yes.
Wow.
My expectation was already low.
Well, this
And then it
experiment
just
didn't work out at all.
No, this was horrible.
Lowered.
Dadgummit.
Well, take us. Okay, what was your expectation going in? What parts did you think you might enjoy?
I thought it would be one of those things where it's like, okay, you know what? All the fluff aside, look at this little movie, you know? That was not the case. I didn't like it.
You watched it in sort of an abbreviated time and space. Can you just give us your recap of what you think that it is about from beginning to end? You've got a couple of minutes, so let's pretend we've never seen it. Pitch us White Christmas.
Opening shot, snow is falling. It's on the war front, and there are troops gathered, and old Bing Crosby is there in the snow singing White Christmas.
What side is he on? Good guys or the bad guys?
Oh, yeah, no, he's on the American side.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah, no, he's American. He sings White Christmas for his fellow troops. But then he totally jinxes it for them and they get bombed. Then there's another guy who gets injured in the bombing, but he gets injured because he saves Bing Crosby. So then turns out he's okay. And then he's like, hey, I saved your life. You're indebted to me. Let's sing together. And so then fast forward, they're traveling and become successful
this
in
is
their
still on while
little...
the war is going on?
Oh, no. Okay, so they left the war front to perform.
They left the bombing.
They left the bombing.
They stayed.
They go on tour. They are successful. And then, oh my gosh, they have so much success that like now, how do they ever take a break? So then the one that is not Bing Crosby tries to tell this to the actual Bing Crosby. He's
and that's
like,
how the actual posters for the movie say featuring Bing Crosby and not Bing Crosby.
And exactly the other guy. So they have that little argument. And then they're like, well, you know what? Before we go and do this other show, let's stop at this little show because it's a favor to our other war buddy.
Who's also not Bing Crosby.
And so they go to the show as a favor and they find the sisters. They see the sisters perform and they are smitten with them. And so then this is where it got tough to not fast forward to the end.
But honestly, you're nailing it.
You know what? Thank you.
You really are. Okay, so they've seen the sisters.
And then, well, and this is the part where it gets a little hazy, right? Because the next 45 minutes of this, no, it has to be longer than 45 minutes because that's like a 2-hour movie. So a good portion of the middle is them with the sisters. Bing Crosby and the not Bing Crosby fall in love with the respective sisters. And then they go up to Vermont for some reason. And when they get there, oh boy, we've not had a snow here in years. Interesting. So then they have to do a performance to save the hotel because they don't have snow, so they're somehow running out of business.
Their performance will bring the snow.
So then they do a performance in the hotel. Everything's great. But then, another character. Their general? The general.
Yeah. The general,
who's also not Bing Crosby. He
Correct.
Is in
Bing Crosby,
Vermont.
just to be totally clear, Bing Crosby only plays one character in the movie.
Well, I think it's important to clarify because like in Polar Express, Tom Hanks is every character. So that can happen.
Whoa, crossover.
So you think people that are listening might be like, I wonder if this is one of those movies where one guy plays everybody.
But that other guy's Bing too.
Yeah.
So
if that is his real name.
It's not.
Is it not?
It's a nickname.
What? You're telling me that
What's
his
his real
parents in
name?
the hospital looked at this baby and didn't say,
That's a Bing.
Bing.
That is a Bing if I ever saw one.
Bing,
Right there.
baby's done.
Bing.
But is it worse that he chose that name for himself?
You don't really choose a name like Bing. It
Well, then how did he get it?
chooses you.
Well, I'm sure that it was something people called him. And then
What, to bully him?
Well, no, I think I got to find it, but I think his real name was like Henry or something.
That's
that's
well,
not
how
a
about
stage
this?
name.
We'll look it up while you continue. They're in Vermont.
They're in
There's
Vermont.
no snow.
They have no snow.
There's a general.
Therefore, no business. And the general is up there, but he's distraught from The war. And never got any recognition and is ashamed, kind of, I think.
Yeah, you may have fast forwarded some of that, but we'll fill in the gaps.
So then he's ashamed. So then fast forward, they do the performance for the hotel to save it. And then they do like a little honoring of the general, and they all cry. And it's so special that the snow comes back to Vermont. And then the titles roll.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Behold.
That was White Christmas. So if you're listening to this and you thought, gosh, I should watch White Christmas this holiday season, you don't have to. We just gave it to you in about 4.5 minutes. There's the general, there's not Bing, there's Bing, there's some sisters.
Harry Lillis Crosby Jr.
I thought you said Henry.
I thought it was Henry. It's Harry.
Well, yeah, Henry is a nickname for Harry.
Which is...
And then Bing is a nickname for Henry. That was actually pretty good. I mean, you probably missed a few things and a few characters, but there's also a classic song in there other than Sisters. And it's kind of the title song. And it's kind of a pretty important song.
Wow.
And it was the one that you mentioned that he sang at the very beginning.
Oh, White Christmas.
That's the one.
Because they get the snow, and therefore it is a white Christmas.
It is. Here's what's absolutely crazy about White Christmas, the movie and the song. And honestly, we were just joking about it last episode, but I think what we found out between then and now, since you've watched it, and some of us have watched it again as well, is that that song and that movie have a lot more to do with the current Christmas that we know and love and celebrate than we were aware of a week ago.
Absolutely. The song actually got started earlier during World War II is when it came out. And because of its popularity at the time, that's what drove into the movie itself. So if you want, Tatum, would you like to learn a little bit about the song? I will say this. When we've been talking through this a little bit with some of our friends. One of our friends, Matt, he reminded us that the song, which you already said is the most popular song of all time.
It's the most popular song of all time.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It also is a Simpsons lore. Mr. Burns in one episode says that's how he actually got all of his money originally, was he invested in the song White Christmas. So there you go.
The more you know.
Like Grayson was saying, the song was recorded during the war, but the movie actually came out like 12 years later.
Right. The song itself was written by Irving Berlin, who was actually a really prominent songwriter of the time, very popular. He wrote the song for Bing. And Bing actually, the first time that it was performed or broadcast was on Bing Crosby's NBC radio show in 1941. And it was released, when people first heard it, it was right after the U.S. had just entered World War II. It was weeks after Pearl Harbor, so everybody was reeling from Pearl Harbor. And then this song came out as all of our troops were going overseas, you know, not only the United States troops, but troops all over the world were already in the war and getting staged into the war at the time. So it couldn't have come at a better time. There were so many people that were displaced from their homes that the song just resonated perfectly, not only in America, but all around the world. It was the best-selling single in the world, topping the charts for 11 weeks in 1942. Decca Records actually had to re-record it. So the version that we hear now is not the original version recorded then.
Really?
It's different. I know, right? So they would create this master so that they could press the records on it. And that master, after it was pressed so many times, it would actually wear down. So it wore down to the point where they had to bring back in the entire orchestra. They had to get Bing back in. They had to get basically everything they had before and re-record it, attempt to re-record it in the same fashion that they did before. And for all intents and purposes, they did. But the original, there is a different sound to it. There's a different tonality, different mix, obviously. So the version you hear today is the more like the second edition. And the song itself won Obviously, later on, it was put in the movie, and it won an Academy Award for that for Best Original Song. Sold 50 million copies worldwide, which is a testament to that time period. So many people, it was kind of like the end of war anthem for so many of these young kids that were over there fighting and in the combat. And the way I look at it, it was the perfect song for that time. And that's why it resonated so well with so many people around the world.
And I think the craziest thing most people don't realize is the movie White Christmas isn't the first time you hear Bing Crosby in a film sing the song White Christmas. And that's why this episode is titled Bring Bing Back In.
So the song White Christmas came out before the movie, right? Yeah, that's the general fact. So
Yes.
then they made the entire movie for that song.
You're half right. That song came out in 1941. The movie White Christmas didn't come out until 1954. But the year after the song came out in 1942, the film Holiday Inn featured a much younger Bing Crosby opposite Fred Astaire, and he sang for the first time in a film White Christmas.
It feels like the whole point of White Christmas and all that was just the ideal marketing and career launch for Bing Crosby.
Yeah, now you're probably 100% correct. So Irving Berlin...
So it was more strategy than actual resonating.
I think so. So Irving Berlin, after seeing the success of the song and Holiday Inn, wanted to capitalize on that, and they wrote White Christmas, the movie, around that. And the original idea was to have Fred Astaire play opposite Bing Crosby again. He declined. And then the ask was made to Donald O'Connor, famous for Singing in the Rain and other movies in the time. I believe he fell ill and couldn't play the role. So it fell to Danny Kaye to play opposite Bing Crosby in White Christmas. The problem was this was going to feature the same inn, but because it's a different movie with a different guy, you now have pretty much the same inn.
So it's two Christmas movies with Bing Crosby with a inn that's in Vermont.
That's right. And the inn, they actually filmed a lot of it at the same inn from Holiday Inn. Do you know the name of the inn from White Christmas?
No.
That's the Columbia Inn. But the set for it was a refurbished version of the inn used in the earlier Bing Crosby film Holiday Inn.
What a successful career for Bing Crosby.
He actually didn't like the song all that much.
Then why did he do it?
Because money. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously.
50 million albums sold.
So he wasn't a big fan of performing the song or really at all, but it took on a lot of success. And there was one instance, I'll talk about this. The last part of the song is just that he, in 1944, I believe it's 1944, he was tasked with going overseas to France, where he actually sang White Christmas. It was a lot of songs, but he ended with White Christmas. He sang it for 15,000 troops, and those troops ended up going off the next day or so to the Battle of the Bulge, which is one of the bigger conflicts towards the end of the war. And so a lot of the kids that were in the audience that he sang to actually perished in the battle. And after that, it took on a whole new meaning, the song, for him, because it was it was a difficult thing to do. It was heart-wrenching for him to sing that song to a bunch of guys that had already been in a lot of combat and were now going into just a perilous situation. So there's actually kind of an homage to that in the beginning of White Christmas. Like Tatum was explaining earlier, the opening scene is him singing White Christmas for troops. That's actually based on that time that he spent with the troops in France singing for them before the Battle of the Bulge. After that, I think that's what it kind of took on a new meaning for him, the meaning of White Christmas. It's not necessarily just about snow in Vermont. You know, it's more of it's a reminder for people that were struggling at the time, their homesickness, and to take them to a place that was their safe place, their loved ones were there. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, he didn't like it, but then he did like it. I should have just said it that way.
Because it made him money.
Well, yeah, the money thing too.
Yeah, while the song's success made his wallet grow 3 times its size, I think his feelings towards the troops and what he saw it do made his heart grow 3 times the size. And really the song and the movie, spanning the 13 years from when he first sang it in 41 to the release of White Christmas, really helped canonize the nostalgia of that time period. Christmas prior to World War II looked a little different, but what happened and what we see is that it's kind of a call to family, it's a call to home, it's a call to hope. And it was a way for people to grieve for a time that was long past that they really wished they could go back to. So it does have the sentiment of it, but it has kind of the sweetness. And it was a way for people to grieve, but also to hope for things to come. Ironically, it actually wasn't filmed in winter or even colder weather. This is kind of fun. Despite all the snow that you see in the movie White Christmas, it was actually shot in the middle of a California summer. Yeah. So how did they get all that snow?
How did they get all that snow, Josh?
Using toxic asbestos flakes.
No. Oh, incredible.
So earlier film techniques, they used asbestos flakes for fake snow in Hollywood back then. They didn't know that it was toxic. And the cast actually had to wear, these warm wool clothing, sweaters and everything like that. And they're under these hot studio lights. So they were actually pretty miserable because they're in the middle of a California summer. They're getting rained on by asbestos flakes, but it still looks cozy on screen. And that's what we love and enjoy. They also used soap bubbles during filming that for snow, but under the hot lights, during those dance numbers, people were slipping. So they would just have to keep reshooting it. So you get your pick. You can do the asbestos flakes or you can slip.
Oh, so the asbestos was causing it to be slippery. They hadn't figured out the mesothelioma part yet.
No, that was a gift later.
Gotcha.
One of the other film things, in addition to the asbestos that everybody got sprinkled all over them, was the fact that this was Paramount's first film shot in VistaVision. And VistaVision is it was a new widescreen film process that delivered crisper colors and higher resolution. And it was really Paramount's answer to the rise of television. One of the things that it did, though, that I thought was interesting is that it also overexposes skin tones. So they had to use a lot of lighting gels and diffusion techniques. And that's why everybody looked like they had perfectly smooth skin. So if you go back and watch it, even though Bing Crosby is in his 50s, I think during the movie, he's got the skin of a 27-year-old.
Wait. How old was he?
Oh, gosh. I think he was 51.
Oh, my God.
And Rosemary Clooney, I believe, was 25 or 26.
Oh, gross. It's even worse now.
As was the custom of the time.
Oh, as was asbestos. Doesn't make it right.
Yes, that's kind of weird. But going back to VistaVision, it's actually still used today. You can see it in films from directors like Paul Thomas Anderson, Greta Gerwig, M. Night Shyamalan has used it in Yaditu if you've watched any of his films, and even season 3 of Euphoria. What is it, the way that I said in Yaditu?
Yeah.
It's his name. That's his name. So it's still a popular technique, very similar to, and the way they did it, for anybody that just wants to nerd out over this, instead of the film running vertical through the cameras, they actually ran it horizontally. So you had more of the perforated edges. So you were actually able to stamp a wider image on the film.
They used it in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That's a Batman movie.
I know that. How did you know that?
It's not the Christmas Batman movie, but it is a Batman movie.
There is a Christmas Batman movie. Tatum, do you know which one it is?
How would have... No.
Oh, man.
Take a guess. Name every Batman movie and we'll tell you which one it is.
There's so many of them. There's too many of them.
I don't know, too many.
Here's a hint. It has to do with a Christmas animal, Christmas bird, maybe associated with Christmas. Cold weather.
No. Arctic. Here's the thing. I know what you're describing.
Say it.
But just because it is in the Arctic does not make it a Christmas bird.
100%
Are you talking about
does.
penguins right now?
There it is.
Oh, my God.
The penguin. And you know who played the penguin in this Batman movie? Say his name.
It was Danny DeVito.
It's Danny DeVito.
Wow.
What a guy. Anyways, back to White Christmas. So after all of this information, and I'm looking right at you, Tatum, do you have a little bit more appreciation for the movie or the song White Christmas?
Not after that age difference, no.
Oh,
That's
man.
the only thing you took from everything we just talked about.
Okay, well, I mean, what? Okay, miserable filming conditions.
Yeah.
Bing Crosby didn't even like it.
At first.
And then the age difference, no. I mean, I would say the bar has just been completely even lowered even more.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you mean that's not fair?
Because we said a bunch of good stuff, too. And you didn't remember any of it.
Well, contrary to your beliefs, the song White Christmas and a lot from that time really captured the heart of America, being almost a decade removed from World War II and just emerging from the Korean War. And that ended in 1953. So the country was prosperous, but it was still emotionally processing this cost of global conflict. Like we said, the movie's opening, soldiers singing White Christmas in a war zone, it immediately evoked the collective memory of separation, sacrifice, and longing for home that defined the 1940s. So many veterans and their families look at it not just as nostalgic, but it was actually cathartic for them, and it allowed them to reframe the pain of war through music, reunion, and gratitude. So knowing all of that, Tatum, do you have an appreciation for White Christmas anymore?
Even in a list of 10, it would not be on there. No.
Oh, man. Well, I guess we need to figure out your top 10 Christmas songs.
No.
What would you put anywhere on that list?
Besides Wham. Do you want me to read it again?
You know what? 10 is a generous number. I really just get so bored of Christmas music. It's all the same.
It kind of is all the same. And I mentioned it last time that some of my favorite, and probably all of my favorite Christmas songs came from this era, the 40s, the 50s, maybe the beginning of the 60s. And I kind of looked into that. And the real reason I think it feels like those are the most iconic Christmas songs is because it's a mix of like history and culture, nostalgia and technology all converging at the same moment. So you have post-World War comfort and hope, but also Hollywood was kind of coming into its peak. And so the 40s and the 50s were this golden age of movie musicals, radio, big record labels, professional songwriters. So a lot of the classic Christmas songs were written by some of the best American songwriters in history. You have Irving Berlin, Mel Torme, Johnny Marks, Sammy Cahn. So these weren't just random artists writing Christmas songs trying to make it on a Spotify playlist. These were actually elite composers and songwriters throughout all of America, and they're creating songs that they were hoping would last.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, before the 40s, Christmas traditions and songs in America varied greatly by region, ethnicity, denomination. And then suddenly you had this explosion of medium where you had radio broadcasts and television started coming in later on. And you just had this outpouring of shows and talent and people. And, you know, it wasn't just the look of Christmas being that 50s look that has stuck for so long, but I think that the fact that these songs make you feel like you're in that time, it kind of paints the whole picture.
Part of it too, like we had said before World War II, Christmas celebrations just looked a little different, smaller, maybe more regional, less commercial, but you've got young men overseas, families being separated, and home becomes this sacred idea. And then you have songs like White Christmas that come in, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It kind of gave language to this national ache, and those themes started finding their way into modern American Christmas. The cozy, nostalgic, family-centered, warm escape from a chaotic world. And that's the mood that remains today. And Hollywood obviously had its part in it too. So you've got films like White Christmas, Holiday Inn, Miracle on 34th Street, all of the ideas of just the beautiful snow, the warm fireplace, the carolers, the sweaters and scarves, no asbestos, please. And those vibes are essentially the Christmas magic that we feel today. So the reason why we don't have a lot of modern Christmas music that have the staying power of the classics from the 40s and 50s is because that really defined the emotional tone of Christmas. So to succeed, you either have to emulate the 40s or 50s sound, which Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You does follow a lot of those similar styles, or Kelly Clarkson's Christmas song, or you've got to create something simple, catchy, and universal like Last Christmas. But that's why these songs intentionally imitate the 50s production and melody styles. It's the quote unquote classic Christmas formula.
Yeah. And if I can go back to White Christmas one more time, I think one of the things in that song that makes it so popular, and I know that everybody in the room is going to agree with me here, including Tatum, is the whistle solo. We don't have any whistle solos going on anymore.
I wonder if there's a reason.
I am just as baffled as you are, Tatum. Yeah. But I think that if we had more whistle solos, a lot more songs would catch. One thing I do wonder is in America, we have this kind of have all these holidays that are just jumbled together right in this one time period, you know, at the end of the year. And it's like we've got Thanksgiving, and then almost immediately after that, we've got Christmas. But Christmas gets all the fun. Like, where's all the Thanksgiving songs? Are there Thanksgiving songs? Tatum, name your top 10 Thanksgiving songs.
Thanksgiving by Adam Sandler.
Oh,
is that what it's
That
called?
was actually pretty good. Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Well,
Man.
Well, that's like the only one that exists, though. I'll give you that.
I think there's one called Gobble Gobble by Matthew West.
that's great. Yeah.
Have you heard that one?
I have not. I thought you were making a joke. That's a real thing.
I think I know why Thanksgiving songs don't exist.
That's probably why right there.
Yeah. I think that's an episode in itself. It's coming up pretty soon. You know, what do you guys think?
I actually don't like Thanksgiving either.
Oh my gosh.
What do you like? Name one thing. Name top 10 things that you actually
We
like.
may have picked the wrong holiday and the wrong
my
time of year to start this. I love Thanksgiving, though. I think it's a great place to start. Maybe we do an episode about that. I do have one grievance with Thanksgiving, though, if I can share. I hate the term Friendsgiving
Why?
because it makes no sense in my mind.
Like the word.
The function
Itself?
of the word Friendsgiving. I've been on a quest for probably 10 years to reframe it and call it Friendsgathering.
Oh, no.
Because
that's worse.
At
And you're
Thanksgiving,
adding a syllable.
At Thanksgiving, we give thanks. At Friendsgathering, we gather friends. So this year, if you're planning on a Friendsgiving, I would encourage you, maybe just change the name of that invite that you built out in Canva and send everybody a Friendsgathering invitation and just see who shows up.
What
And
if
you
it
know
was
those are your real friends?
thanks, friends? What about that?
That's a good close second. No. Thanks, friends.
No, to both. Who is that for? No.
Do you celebrate Friendsgiving?
No. You're going to have your own like little private friends gathering party.
You're using it. I feel like we did a good job, hopefully explaining White Christmas, the movie, the song, the movie again, the second pressing of it, and how it just shaped a nation. And it seems like during wartime, there's always a song or two that kind of comes out of that. And we also get songs like Do You Hear What I Hear that came from the Cuban Missile Crisis and the plea for peace. So wherever you're at with your Christmas music and the songs that you like and don't like, I would encourage you make a top 10 list and send it to us at info@yuletiderecords.com because we want to share and we're going to compare our top 10 Christmas songs next time. But before we do that, we're going to celebrate and talk about Thanksgiving. So until then, let's put our Christmas mugs in the middle right here. Tatum, once again, you're showing zero effort.
Not even trying. I feel like you're backing away.
It's too far.
Okay.
It's not.
And 1, 2, 3. Merry
There you
Christmas.
go.
Merry Christmas.
Wow.
No happy Thanksgiving.
Just give us a little gobble gobble.
How many people actually say Happy Thanksgiving, though? No one actually says that.
Oh my gosh, I call half of my phone list. No, that's not true. I text everybody.
Yeah, people say Happy Thanksgiving.
Are you serious? That's a thing?
Yeah, thankful for you. Happy Thanksgiving.
I've never in my life seen that.
Hope you're eating turkey.
You should try it sometime.
What? No.